Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'd. All praises be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be misguided for him. And whoever be misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness, there's no God worthy to be worshipped except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad is His servant and messenger. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Have give upon Abraham, give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, give good prayers upon, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, and have you blessed upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most worthy of praises and most noble. Today, inshallah, we'll continue with our book, 50 rules, 50 Quranic rules on soul, about soul and life. And we, alhamdulillah, last week have taken the second topic or second rules, that is about qadar. That's Allah, that you may like something, but Allah Ta'ala, maybe the thing is not good for you, but you may dislike something, but Allah Ta'ala make it good for you inside, in the things. So it is really about accepting whatever Allah Ta'ala has predestined for us in this life. It is so good to make us calm and to go in our life with serenity and confidence that Allah Ta'ala always wanted the best for us. So today, inshallah, we will continue in the third rule of Quranic rules, inshallah. That is about the saying of Allah. If you have the book, inshallah, the book is actually in the page 23. Okay. Al-Qā'idah Ats-Tsalitsatu, the third rule, wala tansawul fadla bainakum, and don't you forget the graciousness, kindness between you. Don't you forget the graciousness or the kindness between you. He said here, tu'tabaru hadhihi al-qa'idatu, hadhihi al-ayata, this ayah is considered qa'idatan min qawā'id sulukiyah, from among attitude rules about attitude, allati tadullu ala 'azamati hadha ad-din, that is actually showing the greatness of this religion, and wa shumulihi, and also its wholesomeness, wa 'azamati mabadihi, and also the greatness of its foundation. Wa hadhihi al-ayatul karimatu, this noble ayah, ja'at fi siyaqi ayati talaq, it came in the context, or in course of ayat talaq, ayat or few verses of divorce. This is actually in Surah Al-Baqarah. If you look in Surah Al-Baqarah, it is from the verse number 228, or you can take it from 255 until until 237, 228 until 237, that is in that ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, it actually talking about the rulings about divorce in Islam. The ruling about divorce in Islam, how the manner should be taken, because in Islam, family is one of the biggest concern, because without a family, there is a unit of the community and the unit of the nation. Actually, if you don't have the family there inside the community, then the community will crumble, will fail, because without marriage, without the right relationship between male and female, man and woman, then they will know they will know will not be any obligation from each party, either the man or woman, to be in that life. And for that, they will not be any offspring from that marriage to be conceived happily, because everybody is actually running away. So nobody want an obligation, one burden from that family, from that relationship. So it become things that will make the community or the nation will crumble. That's why in Islam, fornication, adultery, or homosexual, or any types of sexual wicked weirdness or oddity is actually not acceptable, because if you let that type of relationship happen in the society, people will stop to have marriage. No people will get married. And when people doesn't not get married, so the nation will fall down in their numbers, like what happening now in Europe, happening now in Japan, a few countries in Asia, that when they start to impose not to have many children, like Singapore, in few countries, so after 30 or 40 years, they will see that their nation is actually reducing by numbers, and nobody will continue the movement of that nation. So it's actually so wasteful, or become not good for the nation. That's why the marriage is actually one of the things that Islam get concerned about. How to you marry, how to you dissolve the marriage also, there's rules there. So the verse 225 until 238 or 37 is actually talking about that type. So this ayah that we are talking talking about right now, the verse number 237 from Surah Al-Baqarah, it is actually 237. It is actually the last ayah concerning marriage, concerning dissolution of marriage. So this ayah was talking about the saying of Allah, wa in talaqtumun nisaa min qabli an tamassuhunna, and if you divorce them, means the woman, min qabli an tamassuhunna, before you have touched them, means that before you do any sexual intimacy with them, you have intimacy with them, and it's actually these things that means that you didn't sleep with them. If you slept with them, then that will be another things. وَقَدْ فَرَضْتُمْ لَهُنَّ فَرِيضَةً, and you have satisfied for them an obligation, means that you have already said that they should get what is the dowry, the gift that they get from that marriage. But you divorce them before you touch them. فَنِصْفُ مَا فَرَضْتُمْ, then give half of whatever you first specified. What you specified for them, then give half of it. If you say that you want to give the woman 3,000, then 1,500 will become will be owned by them. You have to give them. even though you don't touch them, but you have already make the arrangement of marriage with them, already do the akad, do the saying of marriage, ijab and qabul, then she already become your wife, even though you don't touch her. But if you divorce her before any relationship with her, then you have to give them half. Illa ya'fun aw ya'fu alladhi biyadihi 'uqdatun nikah, unless they forgo, means that they waive, they let it go, the right, or the one who is who's in whose hand is the marriage contract forgoes, means from the male side, the man's side, they let go the dowry, just get they didn't take anything, or from the side of the woman, means the father of the woman let go, the return back all the dowry or the gift that be given in the marriage, or mahar. You see, mahar. Wa an ta'fu wa ya'fun aqrabul taqwa, and if the to forgo, it is nearer to righteousness. Wala tansawul fadla bainakum, and do not forget graciousness between you. Inna Allah kama ta'maluna basira, and verily Allah Ta'ala, with whatever you do, actually He is all seeing. He see everything that you do. So this ayah, this rule that we are talking today, is taken from the ayah of Al-Baqarah 237, the last ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, that talk about the dissolution, the dissolve of marriage, or about the divorce in marriage. Wa ma'na al-qa'idah bi ikhtisar. What is the meaning of this rule? The meaning of this rule, as briefly, anna Allah Ta'ala ya'muru man jama'athum alaqatun min aqdasil alaqatil insaniyah wa hiya alaqatuz zawaj. Allah Ta'ala command whoever been gathered by a relationship, from the most sacred relationship of any relationship between human, and that is the relationship of marriage, relation of marriage. Allah yansaw, that they should not forget, fi ghamrati ta'athuri bi hadhihi al-firaq wal infisal, in the meantime, on the turbulence, the turbulence of affected by this separation, or this separation between them, when they are actually going towards other, ma bainahum min sabiqil asyrati wal muamalati, they should not forget whatever between them from among bond and cohabitation that happened before. So anything that they have, any relationship they have before, they should not forget that relationship, just because they actually inside the divorce or separation. They should not be mad to each other, do not fight. That we always hear say in Al-Khadim, we want a good ending, because if the marriage cannot go on, then a good ending must be searched inside that. Not just because you don't want to be with her or with him anymore, you have to be mad or be angry with each other. This is not good. Wa hadhihi al-qa'idatu ja'at ba'da dhalika tawjihun bil 'afwi. And this rule is actually came after the direction being given by Allah to foregoing, means that to let go, to waive, let go your it's not about shameness, it's actually because you think about whatever you have with the other party, because you think about the kindness before, the love you have, you should let go. Don't ever continuously in angry state between you. So when Allah Ta'ala told about the dowry or the mahar, the gift that you give to her, that you should give her half, except you want to give it all, or the other side want to return all. That is actually the rule that we are talking about come after that command from Allah. Illa an ya'funa aw ya'fu alladhi biyadihi uqdatun nikah, except unless they want to forgo the male side, the man side, or ya'fu alladhi biyadihi uqdatun nikah, forgo those whoever in their hand the akad nikah, that is the parent of the woman. Kullu dhalika li zati targhibi fil afwi wa tafaddul dunyawi. All of that is actually to add up the attraction in foregoing, and also to give to any worldly kindness in Islam is actually being encouraged, to encourage more towards foregoing and towards worldly kindness. Ma'anna al-insyana amrun jibilli, even though forgetting, you want to forget something, is actually a natural matter. For a human being to forget is a natural thing. Laisa biusil insan daf'ih, not upon among the capability of a human to reject it, to stop it, because you will forget. One day you will forget something. Illa anna al-ayat al-karimata ja'at li ta'kid ala adam nisyan, except that the ayah, the noble ayah, came to stress upon not to be forgetting, and the meaning of that is actually to not observance, not to neglect, or to less to not really giving attention to it. Means that do not forget, means that don't abandon this goodness or graciousness between you, because even though we will forget, but Allah Ta'ala stress not to let just pass by and do not look into it. Okay. Wa fi qawlihi ta'ala, and in the saying of Allah, in the end of the ayah, Inna Allaha bima ta'maluna basir. Verily Allah, whatever you do, where He is all seeing. This is actually a reason. Ta'lilun li targhib fi adami ihmal al-fadl. It's actually a reason to encourage or to attract in do not abandon the goodness. And wa ta'rid an bi anna al-afwa mardatul lillah, mardatullah, bi an fil afwi mardatullah. And also they also we say a promise from Allah, or what you say, when we want to give something to others, we say to them, if you do this, you get the other thing. So Allah is actually giving to us and actually something that can we say as not reward. If you do it, you get the reward. So Allah is actually ta'rid. He actually giving, in Malay we say tawar. You give there, you expose to them, to those who want to do something. You say to them, in that in that foregoing, or in that foregoing that you do, there is the pleasing of Allah. Allah Ta'ala will please with you. Fahuwa yara dhalika minna fayujazi alih. Then Allah Ta'ala is actually seeing all of that from us, and He will reward upon it. He will give you reward upon it. So because He's seeing everything, you don't do any goodness between you and you put it inside the newspaper or everything, but you actually you put it there. You actually doing everything because you want the reward from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because Allah giving you reward by you doing that. So that's the thing, because in the end of the ayah, Wallahu bima ta'maluna basir. Allah verily Allah, with whatever you do, is actually He all seeing. He said here, Inna alaqati zawjiyati fil ammi al-aghlab. The relationship of marriage in most common, la takhlu min jawanibil mushriqah, is actually not empty from the bright sides. Bright sides mean that from the side of goodness, never ever being lost. Wa min waqafati wafa'in min az-zawjaini li ba'dihima, and also from the poses of faithfulness from for the spouse, these two couple to each other, always there, either the wife towards the husband or the husband towards the wife. فإذا قدر وآل هذا العقد إلى حل عقدته بالطلاق, and when it's been predestined and become the akad or the agreement came to the annihilation of its agreement with talaq, with divorce, فإن هذا لا يعني نسيان ما كان بين الزوجين من مواقف الفضل والوفاء. So this is actually doesn't mean that to be forgotten whatever between the two husband and wife from among poses of fadl, mean goodness, and also wafa, loyalty. The loyalty of the wife, the loyalty of the husband must be considered. Walain tafaraqatil abdan, even though the bodies is actually separated, fa inna janibal khuluqi yabqa wala yadhhabuhu, because even though the body is actually separated, but the manners side, from the husband of the wife will always continue, will always remain, and will not be washed away. Be washed away by مثل هذه الأحوال العارضة, by the incident or circumstances. The circumstances mean that the coming circumstances should not wash away all the goodness that you have between the two, husband and wife. وَمَا أَعْظَمَ أَثَرُ الْعَفْوِ. Oh, it's actually so how great it is, the effect of forgiveness or forgoing. فَإِنَّهُ يُقَرِّبُ إِلَيْكَ الْبَعِيدِ, because when you forgo something, it will make near to you whoever is actually far from you. وَيُصَيِّرُ الْعَدُوَّ صَدِيقًا, it also will turn an enemy to become a friend. An enemy become friend, but you have to do the forgoing, the manners of letting go, let it go. Don't stuck into one position. Let everything that happened bygone, let bygone bygone, and actually you will get that what being said in that ayah. إذا تعرف الناس الفضل بينهم سهل على المذنب الاعتراف بالذنب. When people actually notify the goodness between them, or the whatever, the graciousness between them, it may make easy upon the wrongdoer, whoever been doing wrong, is wrong in something, to admit to admit the wrongness, what he done wrongly, he will admit it easily. وَسَهُلَ عَلَى مَنْ لَهُ حَقٌّ أَنْ يَعْفُوَ, and will become easy also for whoever having the right there to forget or forgive, to forgo the thing. بِخِلَافِ مَا إِذَا أَصْبَحُوا لَا يَتَنَازَلُونَ عَنْ حُقُوقِ ذَوَاتِهِمْ. It's actually the opposite of what will happen when the two sides or everybody is actually will not step down from their rights. It's not about you not admitting or you just let go of the right just like that. It's because you and the other party have previous relationship, Because of that, because thinking about the graciousness between you, the kindness between you, you let it go. Because of that. That is the thing. Because sometimes when you say let it go, some people will say that it's become difficult for us to let go, because the person actually did something that is actually shameful to us or insult us. But we actually have to listen to the Prophet ﷺ when he said in one of his saying, "Man tawadda'a lillahi rafa'ahu Allah." Whoever become humble, being humble because of Allah, Allah Ta'ala will lift him up. You don't lift up yourself, but the respect that you get is actually from what Allah Ta'ala give you. If Allah Ta'ala give you the respect, everybody will respect you. If Allah Ta'ala don't want you to get respect, nobody will respect you. That is the thing that being said in the surah of Ali Imran, verse number 26. Allah Ta'ala said in that ayah, "Qulillahumma malikal mulk." Oh Muhammad, say, "Oh Allah, you are the king of every kingdom. Malikal mulk. Tu'til mulka man tasha." You give kingdom to whoever you want. Wa tanzi'un mimman tasha, and you take away kingdom from every or power from anybody you want. Wa tu'izzu man tasha, you make a person become respectful, whoever you want. Wa tudhillu man tasha, you make a person become disrespectful, whoever you want. Biyadikal khair, in your hand all the goodness. Innaka ala kulli syai'in qadir. Really Allah, you upon everything, you are actually most powerful. So that ayah, and relate to this our topic today, everybody should not think about self-pride. It's not about you letting go something precious just because being a better person or a bigger person is best in Islam. So that go. Walillahi ma'azama hadhihi al-qa'idati law tamma tatbiquha baina zawjayn. Oh, by Allah, how great is this rule if its implementation being done between husband and wife, between spouses. Wa baina kulli man tajma'una bihim rabitatun aw alaqatun min al-alaqat, or between us, or between anybody that being gathered with us, being gathered by with us and them by a tie or a relationship from among relationship, like workers and the employee, like upon the leaders and the citizen. So everybody is actually have that type. If everybody doing or implementing this rule, oh, how great it is. Laqad daraba ba'dul azwaji min jinsaini arwa'al amsilati fil wafa wa hifzil ashrati. And actually he said here, some spouses, some couples from man or woman actually have made magnificent examples in wafa, means that truthfulness or loyalty in loyalty, wa hifzil ashrati, and also taking or preserving the bond that they have before. Sawa'un liman hasala bainahum wa baina azwajihim firakum bit talaq aw bil wafa. Is actually either to whom that for those who actually happen between them and their spouses, separation by divorce or by death. It being said, if you look around, you can see this type of examples in our life. He said here, the author said, "Adhkuru namudhajan waqaftu alayhi." I want to mention, he said here, an example that I stumbled upon it. Rubbama yakunu nadiran. It may be so rare. It's actually maybe so rare. Wa huwa li rajulin a'rifuhu shakhsiyan. It is for by a person, a man that I know him personally. Talaqa zawjatahu. He divorced his wife. Allati lahu minha awlad, that he got children from her. Means that between him and her, the children. Fama kana minhu. But when the divorce happened, the husband, he doesn't do except that he actually askanaha fi duwaril ulwi ma'a auladihi alladhina baqaw indaha. That he made her stay, the wife that he divorced, to stay in the top in top stairs. Means that the house is big, so the top part of the house is actually being given to the wife to stay there. Normally when we say here like this, it's actually like normally in Arab country they have apartment. So you can imagine that the husband rent an apartment on top, and he stay at the bottom. He put there in the house on top apartment. His wife, his divorced wife, means that his widow, fi dawril unwi ma'auladihi, with his children, that they actually still with them, with her. Wasakanahu fi dawril ardi, and he stay at the lower, at the ground floor. The wife that being divorced is put on the top floor. He stay on the ground floor. Wasara huwa alladhi yusaddidu al-fawatir al-ittisalat wal kahruba, and he is actually the one that paying all the bills, the communication bills, the electrical bills. Wa yakumu tafaddulan bin nafaqati ala mutallaqatihi, and he actually doing by actually because not obligated to him after the divorce happened, so all the expenses of the wife is not upon him, but he actually by graciousness that happened between them, he's still paying everything on the divorcee. Hatta inna kathiran mimman hawlahu min sukkanil hayy, and even he doing that many of the settlers or the people in that community, in that housing estate, la yadruna annahu mutallaqun, that doesn't know that he already divorced. They don't know that he's divorced. He doesn't do that, but the wife is still staying there. He pay everything, but he stay in the other house and the ground floor, stay there and paying everything for the wife. This is because whatever happened before in their life, the graciousness, the kindness, he doesn't forget it. Wa inni la ahsabuhu mimman balagha al-ghayata fi imtithali hadha tawjih ar-rabbani. The author said, and I think that he is actually from among people that already achieve the goal, achieving the goal in doing or in obeying the command or the guidance from Allah. Wala tansawul fadla bainakum, and then don't you forget the graciousness between you. Naam, hadha mithalun aziz. Yes, this is actually a great example. Walakin adhkuruhu li ubayyina anna fi an-nasi khayra. This is actually, yes, this example is actually difficult. This is a difficult example. Aziz in Arabic can means that precious, or can mean difficult. It's like the second ayah, last two ayah of the Surah At-Taubah. Then when Allah said, laqad ja'akum rasul min anfusikum azizun alayhi ma anattum. It's actually already came to you a messenger from among you, difficult upon him whatever you being burdened with. Any burden came to this ummah, the Prophet feel feel difficult upon him. So the word aziz can be that. So this here, when our author said, Naam, hadha mithalun azizun. Yes, this is a difficult example. Walakinni adhkuruhu liubayina anna fi nasi khaira. But I mention this story to explain, to clarify that in people there is goodness. Even though something is actually so hard to be done, but inshallah in people there is goodness. Still goodness is there. وهذا نموذج آخر, and this another example. Lakin yahkihi qadil qadiyah, but is being mentioned by the chief of the judges, Sheikh Ali At-Tantawi is being known. Sheikh Ali At-Tantawi is among scholars of last 50 years. So he wrote many things about his experience in da'wah. So he said, Sheikh Ali At-Tantawi said, he said, qadiyatu khilafin baina zawjain. There's actually a quarrel between two spouses, two husband and wife. Qala amaduhu is being prolonged, is continuously prolonged. Wastafhala sharruhu, and the badness has become clear. Wantaha amruhu ilayya, and the matters come to me, because he is actually a judge. So the thing being sent to him. Wa arada kullu minhuma da'wahu, and every one of them, the husband and wife, explain and try to give to say or to describe or to offer da'wahu is he or she, his or her saying, or want to say that the other party is wrong, they are in the right one. Both of them saying about that. Muttahiman iyahu bisu'il ashrati, that the husband is saying that the wife is actually not good in relationship, and mutaliban bihuquqi alayhi, and also asking from the judge to get their rights. So the husband is saying something, the wife says something. Both of them is actually give the argument to the judge. وَأَلَحَتْ الْمَرْأَةُ بِطَلَبِ الطَّلَاقِ, and the woman is actually give a sign to ask for divorce. وَبِضَمِّ الْأَوْلَدِ إِلَيْهَا دُونَ نَفَقَةٍ, and to get the children with her without any expenses. وَبَعْدَ دِرَاسَةٍ لِلْقَضِيَّةِ, and after he said he examined the judgment or the thing, the problem. تَبَيَّنَ لِي أَنَّ لَا سَبِيلَ التَّوْفِيقِ بَيْنَهُمَا. It's become clear to me, Sheikh Ali Tantawi said, that there's no way to make to make together between them, to make them to become together again. There's no way there. Ala halati marrahina, on their circumstances at that time. Faqarartu ijra'at tajribati talaq limarratin wahidatin. Then the judge Ali Tantawi said he make a decision to pass the trial of talaq for one talaq. Wa aratul fikrata alayhima, and I offer the idea to them. Falam yataraddada fi qabuliha, and those of them is actually not hesitating in accepting it. Wa awqa az-zawju talqata, and the husband say the divorce, because in Islam the divorce came with the saying, you cannot say to your wife I divorce you, except that the thing is actually happened, even though it's not in court. Even though it's not in court, you say that word, then the divorce, the marriage become annul. Just like that, because like in the happening of marriage with the words, and also with the dissolvement with the word. وَهُنَا جَعَلْتُ أَذْكُرُ مَا بِحَقِّ الْمَوَدَّةِ وَالرَّحْمَةِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ. And by then, after they are already divorced from each other, so the judge start to remind them about the right of love and mercy and about the children. وَخَتَمْتُ بِقَوْلِهِ تَعَالَى. And I finish my advice to them by saying, وَلَا تَنْسَوْا الْفَضْلَ بَيْنَكُمْ. And don't you forget the good, the graciousness or the kindness between you. وَكَانَ لِكَلَامِ أَثَرُهُ الْعَاجِلِ. And my saying, say Syekh Ali Tantawi, have immediate effect. فَإِذَا الزَّوْجُ يَقُولُ. Suddenly, the husband said, إِذَا كَانَ الْأَمْرُ الْمَوَدَّةِ وَالرَّحْمَةِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ. If the matter is about love, mercy, and about the children, فَإِنِّي مُتَنَازِلٌ عَنْ كُلِّ حَقٍّ لِي عَلَيْهَا. Then I actually letting go, foregoing and letting go, or stepping down from every rights for me upon her. مُسْتَعِدُ الْإِنْفَاقِ عَلَى أَبْنَائِ مَا دَامُوا فِي كَفَالَتِهَا. And I ready to pay the expenses, to pay for my children, as long as they are in her care. As long as they are in her care, then I will pay. وَأَجَابَتِ الْمَرْأَةُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهَا هِيَ أَيْضًا مُتَنَازِلَةٌ لَهُ عَنْ مُؤَخِّرِ صَدَاقِهَا. And the woman also answer the saying of the husband that she also stepping down for him about the lateness of her gift in the marriage. This is something that actually I myself, not the author, I myself did hear something about this. The husband and wife married and already have children, but the husband didn't give the dowry or the mahar yet. They actually lagging in giving her. So maybe that is starting of the friction between the husband and wife. Maybe starting there. Maybe the wife felt that the husband is not honoring her, not giving her her right. So that may be one of the spark. So right now, when the husband saying like that, the wife also saying the same thing. وَكَانَ مِنْ أَسْبَابِ الْخِلَافِ بَيْنَ هَذَيْنِ الزَّوْجَيْنِ. And among the reason what you say, this agreement between the two husband and wife, أن المرأة كلما استاءت من زوجها حاولت الذهاب إلى بيت أهلها. The woman, that the wife, every time she get mad at her husband, she tried to go to her parents' house. She had to get back to the house. فَيَمْنَعُهَا أَنْ تَصْحَبَ مَتَاعَهَا سَيْوَا مَا تَلْبِسُهُ. So the husband stop her or forbid her to go with her to her parents' house, except whatever she wear. Nothing more but except that. So the husband is actually saying about that. He doesn't like the wife running away to the parent house. So he said, whatever you wear, that is the thing that you wear. Don't ever take anything from this house. Lakin ma in sara ila hadhihi natijati hatta taghayyara al-hal. But it's actually immediately when both of them come to this result, after hearing the ayah or the rule that we are learning today about wala tansawul fadla bainakum, don't forget the graciousness, the kindness between the both of you, until the thing become become different. Okay, the thing actually immediately turn over. Wa qala rajul li zawjihi, then the husband said to the wife, to his spouse, hadha miftahul bait, this is the key of the house. Fakhudhi minhu ma tuhibbin, take whatever you want from the house. Wada'i ma takrahin, and left whatever you don't like. So in the end, because of that ayah, making the husband thinking about whatever they have before, and the wife thinking whatever they have before, they letting go every grudge or angriness between them. Walaqad kana li hadzal mawqifi atharuhu al-balighu fi nafsi. Syekh Ali Tantawi said that these circumstances, this post, what happened between them, has a strong effect on my soul, myself. Wa aktsara ma ra'ani minhu tilka ad-dumu allati dharafaha kullu minhuma, and many times that I remember from it that the tears that came out from both of them at that time, because of hearing the advice and hearing the rule, the ayah for Quran, wala tansawul fadla bainakum, don't you forget the goodness or the graciousness, kindness between two of you, between all of you. Wal nakif qalilan inda mawqifin amali fi siratin makana Qur'anu khuluquhu sallallahu alaihi wasallam linara kaifa kana yutarjimul Qur'an amaliyan fi hayatihi. And come, let us stop a moment in one of the situation, in one of the practical situation in the seerah, in the life of a man or whoever. Quran is actually his manners, because the Prophet SAW, Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, wa innaka la'ala khuluqin azim, and verily you, O Muhammad, is on top of the best of the great manners. And Aisha anha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when she was asked about the manners of the Prophet, she said, kana khuluquhul Quran, the manners of the Prophet was Al-Quran. So one come and see linara, so that we can see how the Quran is translated practically in his life. Wadhalika, and that is annahu sallallahu alaihi wasallam lamma raja'a min at-Ta'if, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he returned from Ta'if, ba'da an baqiya shahran yad'u ahlaha, after he stayed a month in Ta'if, to call all inhabitants, the people of Ta'if, to Islam. Walam yajid minhum illa al-adha, and he doesn't receive from them except disturbance, except hurt from them. Ba'da an baqiya wa raja'a ila Makkah, after stayed there for months, being tested, rejection by their people, by the people of Ta'if, he came back to Makkah. Fadakhala fi jiwar Mut'im bin Adi, so he entered into the guardship, or the guardship, because it is one of the tradition of Arabs. When a person is not welcome in a town or in a city, if anybody from the town or the city want to protect him, then he can enter. Because at that time the Prophet went out to Ta'if, so the Mushrikin, the Makkah from Quraysh, they see that this is an opportunity for them to make sure that the Prophet don't enter into Makkah again. So at that time, one of the mushrik, his name Mut'im bin Adi, Al-Mut'im bin Adi, he offered to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be in his protection. So the Prophet accept to enter into the protection or guardianship of Al-Mut'im bin Adi. So Mut'im bin Adi, what he done? What he did is actually, فَأَمَرَ أَوْلَادَهُ الْأَرْبَعَةَ فَلَبِسُوا السِّلَاحِ. He command four of his children, already grown up children, to wear all their weapon. Means that wear clothes or wear everything like going into war. Four of the children. وَقَامَ كُلُّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمْ عَلَى رُكْنٍ مِّنَ الْكَعْبَةِ. And all of them stood up, each of them on the four side of the Kaabah, All of them is standing from four side of the Kaabah. فَبَلَغَ ذَلِكَ قُرَيْشًا. And what is being done by Adi, Al-Mut'im bin Adi, came to the Quraysh. فَقَالُوا لَهُ. Then he said to Adi, أَنْتَ الرَّجُلُ الَّذِي لَا تُحْفَرُ ذِمَّتُكَ. You are a guy that will not be obstruct your protection. If you protect anybody, will not touch. So Al-Mut'im bin Adi, he actually not a Muslim at that time, and he continued to be like that until his death. وَمَاتَ Mut'im bin Adi mushrika. And Mut'im bin Adi died as a mushrik, a person that is actually made associate with Allah. لَكِنَّ النَّبِيَّ لَا يَنْسَى لَهُ ذَلِكَ الْفَضْلِ. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not forget for him that graciousness. فَأَرَادَ أَنْ يُعَبِّرَ عَنْ امْتِنَانِهِ لِقَبُولِ مُطْعِمِ الْعَدِي أَنْ يَكُنَ فِي جِوَارِهِ. Then he want to express his gratefulness. His gratefulness towards Adi bin Hatim because Adi bin Hatim accept for him to be in his protection. وَفِي وَقْتٍ كَانَتْ مَكَّةَ كُلُّهَا إِلَّا نَفَرٌ يَسِيرٌ ضِدُّ النَّبِيِّ. At the time when Makkah, all of Makkah, except few people, is actually against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because we know that the return from Taif happened after the death of Khadijah and the uncle of the Prophet, Abu Talib, the two person that actually made the disturbance from the Quraysh, the Kuffar Quraysh, actually lesser, not being so hard upon the Prophet. But when they died, the disturbance become great. So Al-Mut'im bin Adi, he is the one that give the Prophet protection at the time when everybody is actually against the Prophet, except few. فَلَمَّا انْتَهَتْ غَزْوَةُ بَدْرٍ. And when the war of Badr ended, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم لو كان المطعم بن عدي حيا ثم كلمني في هؤلاء ألنتني لتركتهم له. If Mut'im bin Adi is alive and he talked to me about those people who actually being captured in the war of Badr, I will let them to him, give away those people to Al-Mut'im bin Adi, because the Mut'im bin Adi protected the Prophet. Whoever been protected by him, the Prophet will say that I will give him, even though he's not a Muslim. Wa makna, the meaning of the saying of the Prophet, لو طلب مني تركهم وإطلاقهم من الأسر. If he asked me to let them go and to release them from the captured, from being captured, بغير فداء, without any payment, la fa'altu, I will do it. ذلك مكافأة له على فضله السابق في قبول الجوار. And that is because to repay Al-Mut'im bin Adi about his graciousness, past graciousness in accepting to protect the Prophet SAW. Fasallallahu salamu ala muallimin nasil khaira. Then the good prayers of Allah and his peace upon who the Prophet, who is the teacher of human being goodness. Min suwari tatbiqati hadil qa'idati. That is meaning of the qa'idah, the rule. from among the implementation of this Qā'idah, fi hayatina majmu'atun min al-alaqat. In our life, there are several relationships. Siwa alaqatul zawaj, other than the relationship of marriage. Imma alaqatul qarabati, either the relationship of family relationship, not the husband and wife, but between you and your uncle and your father's brother, your mother's brother, your mother's sister, your cousin. That is qarabah. Au musaharah, au the relationship between that happen between you and your in-laws. You know, when we married, you have in-laws, your father-in-law, your brother-in-law, your uncle-in-law, so in-laws. Au alaqatu amalin, or even the relationship of work relationship. Fama ahrana an nutabbiqa hadhihi al-qa'idata fi hayatina. Oh, how we really need to implement this rule in our life. Liyabqa al-wuddu wa lituhfaz al-huquq, so that the love is actually remain, and so the right being protected. Wa tatasafa al-qulub, and the heart become clear. Because the things that will make you, when you angry with somebody, you take their right. You take their right. And you will hate them. It's actually something that you cannot just say something and you just, I hate them, but I don't take their right. No, you take their right because you hate them. You hate them. Then after that, your heart is filled with anger. This is not a good way to live your life. Wa illa fa inna mujarrabati tatbiqi hadhihi al-qa'idati al-akhlaqiyyati al-'azimati. If not, then to avoid implementation of this manner, this rules, this manner concerning rule, great rule that about manners, if you avoid to implement them, ya'ni mazidan min at-tafakkuki, it will mean more in the in separation or in differences between you and others. Wa dan li ba'di akhlaqi syarifati, and also become burying, you will bury down in the earth some of noble manners, because noble manners will come with you letting go everything. If you still angry, you don't like them, you will start to lie, you will start to cheat, you start to talk backbiting. Everything will come after that. So to let go, forgive and forget, because really your life in this world is so short. To make your life full of hating somebody is actually not a good way to have your life, because you have your things that you have to settle down with Allah. You don't want to be stopped by your relationship with human. Wa min alaqati allati la yakadu yanfaku anha ahaduna, and among the relationship that almost not separated from it, any one of them or of us, is alaqatul amal, the relationship of work. Sawa'un kana hukumiyan aw khassan, is actually doesn't matter whether it's actually government, you are government workers, or actually private workers, or even tijarian, or in business. Faqad tajma'una ahadun bi ahdi, faqad tajma'una bi ahadin minan nasi alaqatul amali. Maybe the relationship of works will gather us with one of the people. Waqad taqtadi az-zurufu ayahsul al-istighna an ahadit muwazzafin. And maybe the circumstances will happen that will make you doesn't need the workers anymore. You don't know, I don't need the person anymore. Or one of the person is really intiqal ahadu atrafi ila makanin amalin akhar, or one of the other parties is actually migrating, or to migrate to take another job. Biragbatin aw ikhtiyarin, biragbati aw ikhtiyarihi, by himself or by his like. Okay, he actually wanted it to change. It's actually from the employer. The employer doesn't need the workers because they see that the workers only taking the money but doesn't do the work. Or the other side, the workers actually going away from the employer because he or she find that another job is actually easier or more fulfilling towards himself or herself. هذا موضع من مواضع هذه القاعدة, and this is actually from situation of this rule. فلا ينبغي أن ينسى الفضل بين الطرفين. So do not, it is not supposed to being forgotten the graciousness between the two sides, means the employer towards the employee and the employee towards the employer. Past employee must have that good relationship. فكم هو جميل أن يبادر أحد الطرفين إلى إشعار الطرف الآخر. Essentially, how it is so beautiful if one of the two parties, the employer or the employee, to spark the feeling towards the other party, to say or to express annahu in tafarraqna, that it is actually, even though we are separated, you are not my employer anymore, or the employee said, you are not my employee anymore, I'm not employee anymore, you not with me anymore. Ba'da muddatin min at-ta'awun, if we are separated after a time of helping each other, fa inna az-zarfa intiqali la yumkinu an yunsina ma kana bainana min wuddin wa ihtiramin. But the situation, the circumstances of migrating, or me lefting, you kicking me out from the work, or I doesn't want to work with you anymore, la yumkinu an yunsina, is not supposed to make us forget what was between us from love and also respect. I respect you, and you respect me, and you love me as your employee, your employee, and I respect you as my employer. Wa ta'awunin, and also working to for each other, ala maslahin ala masalihi mushtarikatin, for the goodness of being that actually being associated between me and me, goodness that associated between me and me. Walidha fa innaka tukbiru ulaika al-afrad. Walidha fa innaka tukbiru ulaika al-afrad wa tilka al-muassasat allati tu'abbiru an hadhihi al-qa'idati amaliyan bihaflin takrimi. Because of that, you will see great those people and those we say the word company, the company, or the foundation, any part that you will see great towards them. That express this rule practically by doing celebration of no, not called separation, farewell party, a farewell party to the other part, is the employer make for the employee farewell party, or the employee go to the employee saying that thank you for taking care of me all these years I working with you. No, the saying also can be good between them. Aw tawdi'i, or farewell, the same, takrimi, to honor or to farewell lidhalika tarf, for the other party. Fa inna hadha min dhikrayat al-jamilati, this become a good memory, a beautiful memory between the employee and the employee, if they being separated either because of the employer sacking the employee. The employee said you cannot work here anymore, but he make something good, means that not just sending the letter that you are terminated, but also make food, say good things, because actually we are not letting you go because you don't like, because I don't like you, but something else happened, we cannot employ you anymore. but by good words. So the employee will always remember the goodness from the employer, and the employer also the same thing. If the employee went away because he want to work at some other place, other place, so he will do the same thing to honor his employer, not just go like that without saying anything. I don't know what happened. The guy gone. So the employer will say that where he is gone. He cannot do like that. So because when you come into one work, one relationship by agreement, you must respect the agreement. Either the employer or the employee, both of them must respect that. He said here, ولا ينساها المحتفى به فإن هذه من ذكريات الجميلة التي لا ينساها المحتفى به, because this is among the beautiful memory that will not be forgotten by whoever being celebrated by it. وإذا أردت أن تعرف موقع وأثر مثل هذه المواقف الجميلة, if you want to look, you want to know the stand or the effect of this beautiful poses, this beautiful situation, fanzur ila al-athar an-nafsi silbi allati yatrakuhu adamu mubalati biman badalu wa khadamu fi muassasatihim al-hukumiyyah aw al-khassati li'iddati sanawat fala yasiluhum wala khitab syukrin. Look at if you want to know the direct effect of this type of, you don't do it, then what happened? Look at the negative feeling effect that this type of not caring towards those who being doing good, means that they already doing everything, working from time to time, late going back to their home, coming in the holidays to work, in either the government sector or the private sector from many years. Then it will not arrive to them. The employee will not connect with the employer anymore, and will not come from the employee to the employer any thank letter. They will not thank them. Even if they get married, we do not ask their employer to come. Being forgotten from their diaries, their memory at all. That is the thing that happened when the relationship ended like that, because they don't remember the graciousness, the kindness between them. ومن مياد تطبيق هذه القاعدة, from among the field of implementation of this rule, al-wafa lil muallimin, actually to be truthful or to be loyal to the teachers. Wa hifdhu asarihim hasan, and also to preserve their whatever being left out by them, their good memory, fi nafsil muta'allim, in the feeling of the student. Wa'araf mualliman min ruwadil ta'lim fi ihda manatiki biladina. He said that wa'arifu mualliman, he said that I know a teacher from among the leaders of the leaders of teaching in one of our state here in Saudi Arabia. He said the name is Ustaz Abdul Aziz bin Ibrahim Kharif. He said daraba mathalan qayyiman lil wafa. He's actually he made a good example, a really precious example, precious example in loyalty. إذ لم يقتصر وفاؤه لأساتذته التي درسوه, because the student, he doesn't only shorten his loyalty to his teacher that teach him. Bal imtadda li abnaihim, but he prolonged, he reached out to the children of the teachers. Hina mamata asatidatuhu rahimahullah, when one of his teacher died, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon them. Wa yazdadu ajabuka hina ta'lamu annahu yatawasalu ma'ahum, and you will become more actually shocked, to become shocked with this guy. When you know that he will continuously communicating with them. Wa huwa kharijul mamlakati, when he actually outside of the kingdom, Saudi kingdom. Sa'un fi Misra aw Shami, either he was in Misr, Egypt, or Sham, Syria. Falillahi durra hadar rajul, may Allah Ta'ala grant the goodness of this guy. Wa akthara fil ummati min amsalihi, may Allah Ta'ala make abundant people like this in our ummah. Rahimallahu Imam Shafi'i, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon Imam Shafi'i. Yawma qala, on the day he said, Al-hurru man hafidha wadadu lahzatin wa man afadahu lafzatin. The one who is actually independent, a independent person who actually preserve the a slight of love or goodness. Waman afadahu lafzatin, and also whoever make beneficial even one word that he hear. So a person that can preserve one kindness from a person, he remember always, that is actually being said as a independent person. Okay. Wa fi waqi'ina mawadi'un kathiratun li taf'il hadhihi al-qa'idah al-Qur'aniyyah. In our time right now, there are many situation for us to work out this Quranic, this noble Quranic rule. Fal jirani alladhi iqtarafu minha nasibun wal jama'at al-masjidi minha hazzun. Among the neighbors, they are things that they can use this rule in the relationship with their neighbors, and also from among the communion of the masjid, the jama'ah of the masjid also have their part in this rule. Bal hatta al-amil wal khadimu alladhi ahsan al-khidmah, and even for the workers or for the helpers that already given good help or good khidmah, good service. ولهذا القاعدة حضورها القوي في المعاملة, and for this rule is actually, it has the great strong attention in this type of relationship. Even if you go to the shop, you buying something, the cashier smile at you, so you don't ever forget about the goodness or the kindness that they did to you, so that you continuously, if anything happen, you remember that the guy is actually good towards you. Hatta qala ba'du al-ilmi, even until even so that some of the scholars said, min barakati rizqi, from among the blessing of provisions of risk, alla yunsal abdu fadla fil muamalati, alla yansal abdu al fadla fil muamalati, that the servant of Allah will not forget the graciousness in his relationship. Kama qala ta'ala, as Allah Ta'ala said, wala tansawul fadla bainakum, and don't you forget the graciousness between you. How? Bitaysiri al-musiri, by we actually make it easy to whoever is actually in difficulty. Wa inzar al-mu'siri, and to wait for anybody that borrow money from you, don't you ask them to pay immediately. Give time to them. Wal muhabati 'inda al-bai'i wash-shara', and also to give gifts. Give gifts in buying or selling. Just to make sure that the people will remember you. Just give away better. Don't be stingy. Bima tayassar min qalin aw kathirin, with whatever easy from little or many. Wa bidzalika yanalul abdu khairan katsira, and by that the servant of Allah will get goodness, abundant goodness. Nasallallahu yahdiyana li ahsan akhlaq. We ask Allah Ta'ala for Him to show us the best akhlaq, the best manners, wal a'mal, and the best deeds. La yahdi li ahsaniha illa huwa, will not ever guide us to the best of akhlaq except Him. Wa an yu'idhana min sayyi'aha, and also may Allah protect us from the badness of our deeds, or badness of our manners and deeds. La yu'idhuna minha illa huwa subhana, will not ever can protect us from the bad manners and bad deeds except Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Glory to be for Him. Alhamdulillah, we finish our topic today. Always we will see into the question answer, if there is any question answer. Alhamdulillah, there's no question. Inshallah, we will continue our topic next week. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.